That was a wild game. Obviously, UAB came out really, really strong, did what we know they are capable of, which is spread you out, knock down threes, and they looked really good. And credit to our players. I thought they really regrouped. This is all about them. We didn't make any changes to the game plan. We didn't really make any adjustments. It was more about us really getting on the same page and doing what we're supposed to be doing, which, frankly, we did not do in the first half. And, they did a great job cutting that lead that UAB had going into halftime, and then just came out of halftime really focused. And, again, that's a credit to our team, just understanding how important every possession here is in this league. And that's what we're trying to get them to understand. Like, everybody we play is really good, and when we have lapses, everybody we play is going to be able to take advantage of that. And we came out in that third quarter, and we sure didn't have any lapses. We played really well. We played really tough. And played how we're capable of playing, and you saw a really great team win out there.
Deja, coach mentioned, to turn around in the second half. You had a great second half individually as well. Kind of what do you think turned the game around, and what clicked for you guys in the second half?
We just knew we had to be better on the defensive end. If we do that, everything else is going to come. Coach is really big on us to just locking in on defense, getting stops, limit the threes, and the offense is going to come. So I think when we lock in on the defense, the offense came to us, and that was the biggest shift for the second half.
Coach, UAB came out, and I think they made the first 9 three-point attempts, and defense turned up, made some. Was it defensive adjustments that kind of took them out of the rhythm, or what did you see between the tail of the two halves?
Well, I thought there was two things. I thought, one, they got us in transition with some of those threes, some from lack of urgency and some from just, like, broken plays. Like, we went for a loose ball, we didn't get it, they came up with it, and now we're down numbers. And then the second thing, we just weren't good in their ball screens. We didn't have the urgency that you need to have against that type of team. And, I think the only adjustment we made, we went to our trap a little bit just to kind of get them out of rhythm, maybe slow them down a little bit, because I did feel like transition was hurting us. And our players did a good job with that, just kind of, again, getting them out of rhythm, making them, have to work a little bit differently to get their shots. And then, again, in the second half, it was not a defensive adjustment. It was our players locking in and doing the game plan and playing the game plan at the highest level. And that's how we were able to turn it around.
Deja, coach mentioned, what helped, I guess, get the offense going was getting out in transition. And part of that was the 15 steals today as a team, 6 of them coming from Smitty. You had 3 yourself. Just going to talk about how much easier that makes, I guess, you guys overcome that deficit when you're able to get out in transition thanks to your defensive play.
Well, first, credit to Smitty. She brings all the energy on defense. If it wasn't for her, we don't get those stops. We don't get those transition points either. So I just think we play much better when we're more aggressive on the ball. And we're a great transition team, and we're getting better game by game. So whenever we can get out in transition and do what we do best, that's when we know that we can make anything happen.
Coach, defensively forced 23 UAB turnovers, and we've talked about in previous press conferences how you want to stay as a team under 15 turnovers. Or today you finished with 12. Mm-hmm. And talk about how proud I guess, you are of the team taking care of the ball today.
Yeah, I'm super pleased about our turnovers, particularly because we didn't start well. I think we had 4 turnovers in the first 4 minutes. The first half we were still kind of just not careful with the ball. I think a lot of it with us is we're just not careful with the ball. And I thought we really locked in and, took care of it. Obviously, turning them over helped us a lot to get some easy ones. But, I think so much of these questions have been about our defense, but I do think it's really important to talk about our offense. Honestly, probably what I challenged our players with the most at halftime was sticking together on the offensive end. We have a tendency as a team when things aren't going well to play one-on-one basketball, and not in a selfish way, but in a, hey, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this way. And I thought that was the biggest adjustment our players made. I always trust our defense. I think we're going to be okay. But for them to come together and trust us to know when we move the ball and share the ball and play together, we can be a really good offensive team. And that's what you saw from us in the second half. We didn't settle. We got downhill. We put pressure on them. We made them have to guard us. And once we started to do that, along with our stellar defense, that's when everything changed.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I mean, the team made 8 three-pointers, and they came from 7 different players. So it wasn't, one specific player hitting all of those threes. Coach, before the game, you changed starting lineup just a tad, started Imani Smith. Kind of what was the, logic behind that?
Well, I think the way that they play, to be able to go a little smaller, I think helped, be able to switch a little bit more and keep them in front of us. So that lineup certainly, we thought could help us in terms of UAB.
Deja, back-to-back great games from you individually. Do you kind of get up more for the conference games? Is it not get up more, but do you feel an extra bit of intensity playing in conference games?
For sure. I feel like conference is another ball game, and I just know I have to be locked in even more. Just in conference games, I know a lot of teams are going to be coming for us, so I just go into every game like I have to get the job done, whatever it looks like. It's not about scoring 30 points for me. It's about just getting the win and helping my team do anything that I need to be for them.
Coach, another great game on the glass for you guys. Kiana finished with 9, JC with 8. Another good all-around game from JC as well. Hit a couple big shots in the second half. Just kind of talk about, we've been talking all year about the depth, but you guys really stuffed the stat sheet on all areas today. I mean, few turnovers, efficient shooting, and great defensive rebounding.
I mean, I think that's the difference with how we're playing right now. Deja and Tracy have been consistent all year. We know what we're pretty much going to get from them from a offensive standpoint. But the difference is we have a lot of different players stepping up now. And, we said that a lot as a coaching staff in our meetings, when we're trying to, figure out how to make this team better, that we need more contributors. And now you have, back-to-back games with Key being, just really efficient and solid offensively. JC has consistently, been great for us offensively. When she scores, we normally win. So that's important. Smitty is now stepping up consistently. Offensively, the rebounds. Jewel, I mean, she hit a really big 3, I thought, in the third quarter. So I think that's the difference, is we're finding others. We like you noted, different players are making threes for us, which we know we're capable of, and it's great to see our work paying off. And I think that's what makes us a better team, when we have contributions from across the board, and our kids are stepping up and bringing that.
Deja, one of those players that made one of those threes was Tamia Davis, first time on the court this season. Kind of eventually lit up when she checked into the game.
Yes.
Just kind of talk about her for a little bit.
I love Mimi. She's been going through a journey just with an injury that she's been dealing with, and she comes in every day ready to get better. And just to see her on the court make a 3, it was just so exciting. I know the whole team was excited. You can see me running. I ran all the way back to the tunnel. I was so excited for her. So I'm just happy to see her back on the court getting better day in and day out.
Coach, another great win. We kind of talked about after the USF game, enjoying this win, soaking it in, but also turning the page. Got 2 tough road games this week. Kind of what I guess are some early thoughts on Bryce and UTSA.
Well, I think first our team just has to stay in the moment, and we've been really good about that. Obviously winning at a place like South Florida, first thing as a coach you worry about is having a letdown. But, our kids practiced really well. They've been locked in. Again, I think that's a credit to our leaders, Deja, JC, as well as other players who are stepping up, Smitty, and some others. So, that's the number one thing. As we go on the road, we got to treat it, the same way we've been treating everything, is just one day at a time, one step at a time, just taking another step on our journey as a team. We'll head down there. 2 teams that we're familiar with, so it'll feel a little bit different, knowing that these are teams, that we played. We know their coaches, but they're 2 really good teams. Rice was picked high for a reason. They bring back a lot of players from last year. They're a good team. Lindsay's done a great job with them. And then, UTSA, Karen is a great coach, and she's going to have them ready. So whatever, challenges they'll present, we'll prepare our team the best that we can. But the most important thing is just continue to focus on Charlotte, who we want to be in every moment as we continue to grow this year.
Deja, is a long road trip, a swing trip, so 2 games in the same trip. Kind of what are some of the challenges from a player's perspective, staying loose, staying fresh, staying 4 or 5 nights in a hotel?
And just being away from home, I think, is the biggest. We're out of our comfort zone. It's not a lot of fans, so it's just being there with each other, bringing our own energy. I think that's the hardest thing. Just when we go through adversity, just being able to believe in each other and bring our own energy.
All right, thank you, Coach Consuegra and Deja Lawrence. Charlotte defeats UAB today in Houghton Arena.